What's up, guys? Matt, you're getting ready to watch Season 2, Episode 5 of The Last of Us. We've only got 3 more episodes of the season. It has gone by very fast. Way too fast for my liking, but hey, what are you going to do? You guys know me. I'm probably going to yap a lot throughout the episode. I'm going to yap a lot at the end of the episode, obviously. Oh, and then I got to keep reminding myself to say it, and I think I've been pretty good with it. Because it's awkward. It's like a first timer for this channel. I have played the game, you know what I mean? So I will not mention or hint at or tease or give a little quick little wink to the camera. No, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to spoil you at all. So if you just want to see my non-spoiler reaction, just, you can watch the video, and then at the very end, if I have anything spoilery that I want to talk about, maybe some changes or something like that, I will speak about it at the very end of the episode, and I will make it very apparent that I'm going to be speaking about spoilers. Last episode was pretty good. I specifically think that the first half of the episode was a lot better than the second half. There was a couple weird changes, a couple weird scenes, but nothing that made me turn off the, you know what I mean? Like, as I've spoken about a lot with this show and The Last of Us specifically, the community is just so toxic. Both sides. There's no like middle ground. It's hard to find the middle ground. You either get toxic positivity or toxic negativity. And so everything you see is either the greatest thing that's ever graced your eyes or the worst thing that's ever been made before. So it's hard to have a rational conversation with people sometimes about it. But my personal opinion, like I said, I thought that most of it was good. Some weird dialogue choices towards the end, a little bit of a maybe rushed relationship-wise, if that makes sense. But what are you gonna do? I'm ready to hop into it. Like I said, I'll talk at the end. If you guys like the video, please drop a like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. I've got the full-length reaction up on Patreon, as well as all of the previous episodes of Season 2 if you're interested. And if you enjoy the content that I make on the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. Let's get into it. Hello. Are we going to focus more on some WLF people? As in, like, I don't want to say mini arcs, but... this woman, obviously we saw her last episode, but I mean, I could see them in Season 3 randomly saying, okay, we're going to give this person a backstory episode. Like, what? What are you talking about? You just stare at me like that.
It's war again. We're going to need all the soldiers we have, so he's wondering why you apparently killed some of your own men.
Including Leon.
Not Leon! Who the fuck is Leon?
A few scattered infected here or there, nothing we couldn't handle. All that was left was the basement.
Yeah? What was in the basement?
So yesterday, that's where I sent a squad down to B1.
And?
Nothing.
Jesus.
The whole floor was empty, not even rats.
Rats.
There's cordyceps on the walls, the floor. Chances are they'll find infected next, but that's what they were down there for.
Like,
so I told
the
them
infected in the show,
5 minutes
or
later,
like
he radios again. This time he...
cordyceps in the show, I wouldn't even want to walk near it. At least in the game, it's like spores. It doesn't move. It doesn't try to go after you. You can just wear a gas mask. Okay, this stuff, it's like, I don't know.
Maybe he had been bit. I said, Leon, were you bit? He said it's in the air. See, listen.
Huh, well, makes my last sentence stupid. So what, they're adding spores now, and they're making it like it's a evolution?
I'll inform only the people who absolutely need to know and no one else. As far as I'm concerned, Sergeant Park, he resolved the situation permanently and heroically. We owe you a debt.
What a hero. I mean, it's what she had to do.
About your son.
Damn. That's rough. Damn, that's rough. It's just one of those things, and again, a slight issue. So, you're telling me that you're now introducing spores, which, and again, for those of you who haven't watched, or haven't played the game, again, no spoilers, but the spores are what the infection is. It's an airborne thing. There's no, like, moving tendrils or anything like that. But if you're going to include them now in this episode, why not last episode, where out of the entirety of the 2 games, the spores like make their most like plot important moment with Ellie getting her gas mask knocked or broken. Like, it's just one of those weird changes, and because if you did that, then a lot of my issues with the bite and the bite marks and all that would have been a little, you know what I mean, fixed. So I don't know why you would change that at all. It's just a weird. I like the idea. I want to see the spores. I'm excited for the spores, but at the same time, if you didn't have them in the first place, I don't know if I would have wanted them to be added at all. If that makes any sense.
They have a big ass generator down there. Natural gas, baby.
Come on, man! I want to see the scene where she climbs a ladder and almost gets electrocuted.
Figured out yet?
Getting there.
I love that aspect of the games. Not of the games, of games in general. You're the main character, so you have to do every little thing for the plot to move on. If we need lights, we need a generator to be turned on. I have to go turn it on.
Non-school oriented.
Fuck you, I'm in a school.
Non-school oriented. I gotta use that to roast people.
Get a bearing of their troop movements, and then triangulate back to their bases.
I'm estimating.
I get turned on when you start talking about triangulating.
Protractor.
You did?
No.
No.
I don't know what that is, and I hated math.
Again.
I'm gonna leave you alone now and go and explore the rest of this place because you're smart as fuck and you're figuring it out.
I like Bella Ramsey as Season 1 Ellie. I think she does an excellent job at playing a younger, immature, joking, roasting character. You know what I mean? I don't know. Again, it's stuff like this, and I talked about it the last. Well, I've talked about it all season. No matter my problems with an adaptation, or my problems with Season 1 or Season 2, or dialogue changes, or acting, or whatever, their ability to put so much care into the set pieces and, you know what I mean, the setting, to make it look like it's actually the same, and then not like picture perfect one-to-one, but like almost the same settings from the video game. I think that's incredible. I have never seen an adaptation put that much care into that one aspect of the creation of something at all. It's another thing too. I have to think. Well, I know that there's again, no spoilers or anything like that, but there are some flashbacks shown throughout the game of you know what I mean, some stuff with Joel and all that. I would wonder, because I don't think we're gonna cut to anything right now. I wonder if they're all saving that for, again, I'm pretty sure Eugene still has to show up. Not only have they given him so much focus, but I know that Eugene is played by a big actor. So I don't know if they're going to throw all that into one flashback episode, or PTSD, man. I mean, it's so like, I mean, I know that there's that famous meme of like, name one character who went through more than this person, and it's a picture of a gay Melly, and then everyone roasts it and says, 50 people. But really, dude, every time she picks up an instrument or anything like that, she's just immediately gut punched.
If we make it through, we pop out behind their patrols. The hospital's maybe a quarter mile from there. Nora should be on the first floor, far end of the north wing.
Damn, so that building is separate from the hospital.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. You know, those people they're fighting, the Scars? We already know they use bows and arrows, right? And they seem culty, or at least really religious. You ever hear of Amish people?
Amish people? No.
Hey, Lancaster, but nah.
Pennsylvania mostly, but they chose to live like it was the 1800s. Maybe the Scars are like that? No electricity or technology, because these motherfuckers talk on the radio like they know nobody.
That is funny. It looks so it's so beautiful, and obviously in a dystopian way. Oh, this is just, I know. But again, I repeat, every show has their, I don't know if I've said it in my Last of Us reactions, but for me, I like to see the positives in things, in shows I'm watching. I like to sort of appoint certain aspects of a show that are the best of anything I've ever seen. And The Last of Us just might be like, in an apocalyptic setting, the best settings of any, or environments of any show I've ever watched. These Seraphites are going crazy, man. Ah, right from the game. I love that. Damn. Dude, how many times are we gonna see her throw up? And I thought we were safe, my man.
We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't have come. I shouldn't have dragged you here. You're having a fucking baby. What am I doing?
You're a terrible person, Ellie.
You know, you never asked me about the first person I killed.
Huh? Okay.
Huh? What are we talking about?
I was little. We lived in a cabin in a forest north of Santa Fe. And there were scattered families around. But mostly it was just us alone. And I would get so bored cooped up with my mom and sister. I would just beg them, just let me play outside.
Dina's just brazenly walking. Ellie's like,
But one day I just fucking did. And I had a gun, so who's gonna fuck with me? Now you already know how this story ends because I don't live in a cabin north of Santa Fe anymore.
and I began the story with me telling you that I'm gonna kill someone.
Save those people to do what they did. He didn't deserve that. And I think, what if I hadn't snuck out? What if my mom and sister were beaten to death in front of me? What if that motherfucker made me watch as he did it? Would it make a difference if my family had hurt his people first? No. No.
Wow, Dina. That is... Wow, Dina.
If he had gotten away, I promise you, I would have hunted him down forever. Forever.
Wow, Shodina, I should say. What do you... Okay. Comfort her. Okay, I thought she was about to lean in for a kiss, and I was really about to go, what are you doing? Anytime we share anything traumatic or something, we have sex? What do you mean?
And I'll keep going if you want. There's no right answer. If I die, it's on me. It won't be your fault. So what do you want to do?
Kind of seems like... kind of seems like you're putting the choice on me, but that's fine. Yeah, dude, this is a... warehouse. Looks like a UFO light.
Cover me.
Cover me? Where am I gonna shoot at? I don't see anybody. It's very loud. Dude, the lights look like aliens are coming down to probe us. Obviously, too, we have to worry here because we cannot let Dina get to this hospital if there are spores in the vicinity.
Which means there'll be no line of sight to the inside. Good. What's the other positive? That door's open, and nothing's come out to kill us. Yet. Great.
I do wonder if we're gonna run into any more stalkers.
Yeah, you should do that because you're the one who can't get infected.
She's taking this very lightly. Like, that'd probably be my biggest complaint of the season so far. The fact that we're in a zombie apocalypse and someone has told you that they are fucking immune and there's no conversations or wonder or anything about it.
A few strays, a couple clickers. We can handle that. We've done it like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah. We'll be okay.
But shooting has to
We
be...
channel it. We've done it 1,000,000 times. Ellie's been bitten 23 times.
Oh, you think that no matter what happens, I'm just gonna start firing?
Literally every single time, yes. Don't get angry. You're a little crazy.
Dude, her hair over the flashlight is disgusting. Like, it's scaring me because it looks like tendrils. The question is, will I be jump scared? Let me prepare myself just in case. You're scaring me here, Dina. Speak to me. You being watched? Followed? You smell something?
So this way then.
Yeah.
I gotta look in the background for a fucking stalker, dude. Someone's gonna step on like a broken piece of glass or something and... Hello? That is like an eaten body or something? I can't tell, it's a little dark. Something's in here. Oh, that's so creepy! It's stalker. Not a smart one.
Supermarket. Okay, but you killed that one, so we can kill this one too, right?
Yes, I killed it. Not before it got me.
Fucking bit you.
What was I supposed to tell you? You would have.
And you don't know how many there are.
The other one, it's gonna be fast and it's gonna be sneaky. But this time it's 2 on 1. Now that fucker's gonna try to flank us. So I say we flank it first.
No, back to back. No, back to back.
What do we do?
They're multiplying.
Let's go back the way we came.
If we run, they're gonna chase, so we have to go slow.
How many we got behind us? Oh my god, that's a lot of them. What I really like about the games is that they combine like runners and stalkers and all that. It's like a puzzle piece you have to get past. I like that.
Go!
Just distract them. That was a risky shot. Wow. That's not good. How are we getting out of this? Is it WLF? Were you following us?
What? No. She's okay. I was watching. They didn't fight her. Jesse, I swear.
We gotta go.
Were you following us? What do you mean?
Don't stop! Keep going!
Oh my god. You guys are not running very fast. Saunterly jogging.
What are they doing?
Seraphite territory, I would presume.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Great. More infected.
Maybe. But we can't go back that way.
How did... Were you following us?
Jesse. Jesse,
What?
how did you find us?
The map you left in the theater.
How'd you find the theater?
Impressive triangulation, by the way.
Thanks, that was old Dina.
Trust me, I didn't think it was you. Split up when we got to the city. Cover more ground.
I can't believe they sent you after us.
They didn't. But you two were gonna die out here. So we snuck out the next night. It's a good thing we did.
You know what, we're doing pretty fucking good
Up until what?
What do you mean pretty good?
Get back to the theater, shelter for the night. Meet up with Tommy. And then we all go home.
No. Ellie.
What do you mean, Ellie? I thought you were all in. You just said you were all in a minute ago. Oh. I gotta talk about that at the end. Again, this is when the second game was first announced, and you know they gave us our first gameplay trailer. It was like this scene right here, and it was like it's a legendary trailer, in my opinion.
No, I know things. I know what Isaac is planning. I can help you. I can help.
We have no interest in your words, for the corrupted soul knows only lies. So taught the prophet.
Yo, that voice is magical, man.
No, no.
I want to see it. I want to see it in all its glory.
No.
They are nested with sin. Say it.
He is nested in sin.
I want to see it, man. Show me. I want to see the guts. Yeah. That's so good, man. Wow.
I'll leave them away. Get her out. Go! I'll meet you back in the theater. Fucking go!
You won't get away, Wolf. She sees you. She watches over us all.
Dude, this guy needs to be like a main villain in like... I don't know, his voice is crazy. Little tiny... Little tiny Ellie can fit up there. Just like a squirrel. It's very dark, this episode, I must say. Like, I don't have a problem with dark scenes, but you keep doing shots of, like, showing something that I should be looking at and giving it, you know what I mean, like, a lot of detail to it, and I can't see it. So, I'd assume it was just an escape towards the hospital. Ellie and Dina just feel like they make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. They should be dead 20 times over. And the action compared to the game is significantly less. Only thing that could fit through there is a little squirrel. Like Ellie to like come out behind a corner and surprise, bitch.
Hands up, turn around. You remember me? Yeah, you remember me.
She's turned into evil gremlin mode.
Where's Abby?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
You shoot me, the sound will have every soldier come running.
You'll still be dead. Tell me where she is and maybe I let you go.
I mean,
Maybe you should have. Or maybe you should have stayed the fuck out of Jackson. Nora. Where's Abby?
I know everything about your life story.
Night, I still hear his screams.
Come on, I want the line. Give me the exact line.
Thing, the way he died. Yeah. You the little bitch got what
Yeah! Damn! In the game, in this section, you can run so fast. Oh, this looks exactly like the game. In the game, you can run so fast that you catch up to Nora, and then she will rubber band ahead, and she'll look like a slick circus clown. Oh my god, dude, it's like right like that. Oh my god. Well, she should be dead. Why are you just randomly shooting at her? You want information. I like that, man. Again, they should have been there the whole time. Especially in a show like this that essentially gets rid of almost all of the action of the game. Wow, dude, it looks like barnacles or something. In a show that almost gets rid of all the action from the video game, I feel like spores are something that like would have helped that cause. Hey, we don't have the budget to have 23 action scenes. Well, let's have some spores so we keep it in as a danger. Oh my god, that looks awesome. I wouldn't get close to it still. Stab that thing while you got it there. I'm gonna be honest, if she goes back to like Jesse and Dina, she change her whole clothes immediately. Stuff's probably all over her. Needs to get a shower too. How much are you gonna show me?
Spores. We're breathing spores.
I'm fine, man.
You killed us both.
I'm fine. I want to breathe. I want to see her breathe in real cockily. You're her.
Where's Abby? Don't you know what he did? I don't care. You don't care. He killed everyone in that hospital. Including the only fucking person alive that can make a cure for me.
Hey, should have been better. Should have had better soldiers.
I was Abby's father.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And Joel.
What's she going on a lore dump?
I know.
And I like it like that. You see, this is the problem with an adaptation. Because you have some scenes that are a little awkward, a little bad, but then you have scenes like this that are really good. For the most part. Oh my god, that is perfect right there.
No.
Oh my god, she's filmed like a monster.
Where is she?
Flashback? This is filmed very angelic.
Hey, kiddo.
It's a little, little bit of a weird ending scene. Okay, that was the 5th episode. I liked it. Obviously, I'll talk about some of the things I liked, some of the things I disliked. I will say, and again, I don't look at any, like, I didn't watch any trailers for the show, or I didn't look at any teasers, but I would have to assume that next episode is going to be maybe not all, well, the way that the show works, I would kind of expect it to be all flashbacks. Because obviously, as I've said, there are a couple game flashbacks that have still yet to be shown, so I would assume that they're not going to necessarily show all of those scenes, you know what I mean, one-to-one, but they're going to sort of play on some of those thematic beats. And then also, like I said, going into the season, the only thing, like I said, I stayed away from everything. The only thing that I knew going into the season was that Eugene is played by... Pantalino? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's amazing in The Sopranos. So I would have assumed, I assumed that at some point we were going to get flashbacks of him, especially since they name drop Eugene in literally 4 out of the 5 episodes. You know what I mean? So if I were to have to guess, I would assume that next episode is going to be flashback oriented, and that last scene sort of would lead into that. But even still, I don't like that last scene. Not that it like ruins anything or like it's the worst scene of all time, just a little awkward. I feel like it would work a little better to really hit you with her torturing. You know what I mean? It hit a little harder, if that makes sense. But, and then obviously the reason I say next episode, not only just because of the flashback, but also they're not going to have a whole flashback episode be the finale. So, overall, I thought it was an okay episode. Like I said, I really loved that torture scene. I don't like the reveal of Abby's motives right there. Again, I'm not going to get into like specifics about the game because obviously I don't want to lead on or spoil anything, but I think that's a little bit of a weak writing for the dialogue. If that makes any sense. Just sort of, I don't know. It's by reveal of the you know what I mean. I mean to Ellie, that it just seems very. I don't even know how to explain it, and to be quite honest, I don't know if I have anything to say about it. I just didn't like it that much. I didn't in that aspect. I didn't like it as much as the game, where it's very vague. But I do need to talk about Ellie here, and I mentioned it earlier, and you know, obviously with the toxicity that I've been you know, discussing in these last couple videos, the toxicity that sort of surrounds Bella Ramsey. I hate that stuff because completely treating them unfairly, disrespecting them, you know what I mean, calling them names. And another thing that calling them like the worst actor of all time, which I think is a straight up lie. It's either a lie or you're blind to talent. I'm not saying that Bella Ramsey is the greatest actor that has ever lived. I am not saying that. But I think that they have their strengths, and specifically, I think that season 1 they pulled off that job really well. That sort of immature, you know, like out of nowhere annoying brat. I really think that they sort of flourish in that role. With some of the serious stuff, not that they like are the worst actor of all time. It's a little awkward, and it's especially awkward in the sense of, from season 1 to season 2, I don't think that there has been that much change in terms of the way that Ellie acts. She seems very much the same, maturity-wise. You know, I'm not saying that like she should be, you know, some gloomy, dark figure 100% of the time. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. Obviously, I'm not blind or anything. Like, I know that Ellie is not good. You know what I mean? I know that it's very obvious, especially with this sort of, again, the ham-fisted scenes in the first couple episodes with the therapist, with Gail, and all that, and how, oh, she's a liar, this, that. So, but even still, I think that it's a very stark difference from the, like, happy, lovey-dovey, romantic, funny, roasting, jokey stuff earlier in the episode, and then you immediately cut to her torturing someone. Again, whereas, like, Ellie in the game has a great relationship, but it's more adult, it's more mature, obviously they're not, you know what I mean, there's jokes and stuff like that, but you can tell that Ellie is at all times very depressed, and I don't think so far that they have, and I'm simplifying it, depressed, but so far in the season, when Ellie is around Dina, I don't think that they portrayed that idea that she is really struggling well. But that being said, I really enjoyed that torture scene. The Jesse, that was my main problem. And again, it goes back to the idea that I wish that there was more episodes in the season. I think the first game should have been 2 seasons. And to be quite honest, the way that they're doing this, I would almost argue that the second game needed maybe 3. If they're doing this short amount of episodes. I think that they could have done 2 10-episode seasons, and that would have been really well. But it just feels like everything is just so rushed. And again, like I repeat, because Bella Ramsey is smaller, you can't have as much action. You can't have Ellie being like that much of a force, because it does look goofy. Like when she's beating up, giant muscly men, it kind of looks goofy in the couple times they've done it. So you obviously can't do that for every scene. So a lot of the action, a lot of the interactions with Infected or with this or with that, it's running. So especially this episode, and I think this episode was the worst with it. Action-wise, it felt very run from a target, boom, we're in the next area. Run from the next target, boom, we're in the next area. Run. So in that aspect, I felt like it was a little awkwardly paced for the action. But again, like I repeat, I don't know how to explain it. This episode, I feel like the Dina Ellie conversations were a lot better. A lot better. Not saying they're perfect or anything like that, but I don't know. It's a little weird. Because like with Dina, Dina almost goes on like a monologue saying like, I agree with what you're doing, Ellie. If I was in the same situation, I would do it too. I would do this, I would do that. And then the minute Jesse shows up to come get them, Dina's like, what do you mean, Ellie? What do you mean you're going to stay, essentially? So that was a little awkward. Dude, I don't know. Like I said, and this is really where I really want to discuss this with the toxic, negativity and positivity. I don't think that there's any argument to be made that this is the greatest show of all time, but at the same time, to act like this is a bad show is horrendous. You don't know what you're talking about, if that makes sense. This is a very sort of okay show. Like I said, it has positives, it has some negatives, but for the most part, I think that the quality is pretty high, and I know for certain, like there are fans of just the TV show that are enjoying what they're watching, and like I said, if that's the case, you can't say that the show's bad. Just because it's not good for you doesn't mean that the show isn't pretty good in some aspects, and I think it has been so far. I really liked the Stalker scene. Again, other than I don't know. I'll say from a video game aspect, the idea of like people coming to randomly save you is pretty common. But it almost, not like saying like from a writing, great writing. I'm not saying it's great writing, but it's sort of like a necessity in a video game almost. In a show, when moments like that happen, it's very sort of not out of nowhere. It feels very awkward. And Jesse just randomly showing up, I didn't like that. I think that they could have done that a little better. But the action scene of the Stalkers was amazing, and like how scary they were. Like I think I said this when playing the video game, and in the first game when you first interact with them in the hospital basement, not this hospital, in the first game, it's like one of the scariest moments of you know what I mean, like not as in like I'm screaming, just more of like a chills, like they're so and like once you play the game a lot you realize that they're a pretty weak enemy, but like just like the second time you interact with them, they're so like they give you the chills. I vividly remember me playing, you know what I mean, the first game and the second game for the first time, and literally like going like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. So I think that they do a good job portraying that. They feel like I said, I don't want to say uncanny valley, but they're such human figures, and typically when there's an infected, they just mumble at you or walk towards you or run. But the way that they act so human, it makes them so scary. So my favorite thing from that episode was easily the Stalker scene and the torture scene. I thought that those scenes were very, very, very well done. Now I do have I have one written down. I got to think of the other one, but I have 2 spoiler things I want to talk about, so that's going to be it for my regular non-spoiler discussion. If you guys like the video, please drop a like and leave a comment. It really helps me out. I've got the full-length reaction up on Patreon, and if you enjoy the content that I make for the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Again, I repeat, I'm going to talk about some spoilers here, so please click away. The first thing I wanted to talk about, and again, they did it again. It's something I talked about last episode. Again, I'm not saying like rushed as in like it's the most rushed story of all time this season. I'm not saying that, but the story is very fast paced. There's no breathing room, and they're doing the same exact thing they did in season 1 in the sense of, I think that our main relationships, Ellie, Dina, with Jesse, with Tommy, I think that those relationships are so not focused on, and yet you're still adding scenes. Like, we're getting a whole like 5-minute opener. Probably was not. Probably like a 3-minute cold open with, you know what I mean, Leon's mom. I forget her name, Elise or something like that. I think it was Elise. And I'm not saying that the scene was bad. It was a good scene. It was a well-acted scene. But we don't need it. You know what I mean? Like I would have. I don't know. I don't want to get into like rewriting the show or anything like that. I'm not getting into that right now. I shouldn't get into that. I'm not the creator of the show. But there's just certain stuff that, like, the reason I'm focusing on that is because obviously next season we're going to get Abby, and we should get a majority of the seasons of the episodes of next season surrounding Abby and her sort of journey and, you know, her as a character. So, saying that, why are we getting focuses on people like Isaac? And again, I love the Isaac scene from last episode, but why are we getting so much focus on Isaac's scenes of, you know, his origin? Why are we getting stuff about the WLF at you know what I mean, doing their day-to-day thing when that stuff should be saved for Abby? You know what I mean? I'm not saying like there's some like omnipotent forces, but from Ellie's perspective, she shouldn't. Obviously, she doesn't care about the Seraphites at all, and that's the scene that I wanted to mention real quick before I get into the rest of that sentence. The Seraphite forest scene with the arrow to Dina, I thought that was okay, but again, I repeat, the scene in the game is so iconic with, you know, Ellie going over a ledge and getting hit by an arrow that I think that revealing details on, like, way more details on the Seraphites is a little disappointing. Again, not as in like from a TV show perspective, it's nice to see you get some information as we go on, but from a just pure moment perspective, I think that it shrinks down the moments that happen a little later. And like, I'm not building them up or anything like that, but like, it's the small things, like spores. Why are spores why did they add spores in this episode? If they could have done it last episode and had them in both, but you do it in the episode before so that you also get the gas mask scene. Like, it's one of those things that's like kind of wonky with the way that they do things. But anyway, getting back to the WLF thing, they keep just focusing on things that fit more to focus on later. From Ellie's perspective, she doesn't really care about the WLF. They're a nameless army. She's just looking for certain people in there. So we while we're paying attention to Ellie, shouldn't be getting WLF hierarchy scenes or, you know, focusing on Isaac. No, we shouldn't get that. Same with the Seraphites. We shouldn't get scenes of showing what the Seraphites are and some of their religion and some of that beforehand. No, you should just see how dangerous they are, and you should see that they're in a war with the wolves, so that when we do venture into the woods and we get hit by that arrow, it makes it even scarier. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I do not know. What are you going to do? But I think I think that's going to be it for me. Like I said, I would assume that we're going to get flashback episode next week. So, again, I'm fine with that, especially if they focus on, again, I don't expect them to have like the museum scene and the sniper scene or that whole finding strings area. I don't expect them to have all of those one-to-one. But I do think that the flashbacks were one of the highlights of the game, writing wise for me. So I do hope that they live up to the hype, or my hype at least. Like I said, I want to see that scene of Ellie and Joel arguing again at the motel. And again, I don't need it to happen at the motel in the exact same scenario, but I do want that scene to happen. So, and obviously we're going to get some Eugene. I wouldn't be surprised. Just been thinking about Eugene over the past couple weeks, and I know that they're gonna have a big role, big moment for him. I would kind of assume, because again, also Gale and the town knows that Joel killed Eugene. I wouldn't be surprised if Eugene found out, like contacted Firefly over radio, found out about Joel, and then Joel purposefully gets Eugene infected and then kills him, so he has an excuse to kill him. And Ellie finds out, and that's what sets Ellie off. Like, not just like the stuff of the past and the conversation and the lie and all that, but I mean, that'll be instead of the kids dying in the motel, that'll be the thing that like starts the whole thing. So I'm excited for it. I will see you guys next week for the penultimate episode of the season. If you guys like the video, please drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I've got the full length reaction up on Patreon. And if you enjoy the content that I make for the channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. I'll see you guys.